Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today in Diablo 4, we're playing the beta and we're taking a look at the Crackling Sorceress build. I did get a key for the beta from Blizzard, so thank them for that. And if we're being honest, the builds in this game are very simple and are dependent on your final key passive. You may only select one key passive, and there are 6 for the Sorceress, meaning there are essentially 6 proper builds you can make. And we are going with the Overflowing Energy, Crackling Energy build. Now we aren't high enough level to actually get this tick, but that'll be the idea. We are going for Crackling Energy charges, because once we get a high enough level, it'll hit additional enemies, reduce our cooldowns, and increase damage. So, all in all, good stuff. Let's take a look at the general skill tree and take a look seeing how it works. Tier 1, you can either go with Spark or Arc Lash. You go with Arc Lash for melee or Spark for higher range. This is an energy lightning build, right? So we're going with no matter what lightning, and you can see none of these do anything with crackling energy, so we just kind of ignore that. Here we look at Spark, and then we see the first one. Each time Spark hits its primary target, 20% hit additional enemies, right? More damage, so that's cool. And then this one, each time Spark hits an enemy, it has a 3% chance to form a Crackling Energy. So already, bam, easily that's what we want. We see here, this one is for the critical build for Lightning. Lightning has 2 general builds, Crackling Energy and then Critical Strike build. So keep that in mind if you're curious about going Lightning. Here, we could either go with Chain Lightning or Charged Bolts. I like Chain Lightning more, but I believe we can go with Charged Bolts if we want, but they don't have Crackling Energy anywhere, so might not be a good idea. Here you can see I went with Chain Lightning. Here, his just gains a 3% increased crit strike chance per bounce. This one just bounces off me, does more damage. And this one, when Chain Lightning critically strikes, it has a 25% chance to form a Crackling Energy. So still good to get crit strike clearly, but that helps. But we have a higher chance of actually forming Crackling Energy there, so good overall. Here we have passives, maximum mana, core skills deal more damage above 50 mana, probably good overall, but not necessary yet. After casting non-basic skills, you gain resistance and elemental resistance, right? Good, but not anything we need yet. So here we have the next tier of lightning, which is very simple. We can really only take teleport for lightning, and then we take this one, which is reduce cooldown, no crackling energy here, but here we have for 4 seconds after teleporting, crackling energy hits 2 additional enemies. So you want to teleport in and crackling energy everyone, right? It's very understandable once you actually see the build go in place. You just run around enemies, use your abilities, and hit everyone. This one, lucky hit, critical strikes have 5% chance to reset cooldown of one of your defensive skills, can only happen once every 10 seconds. This one, glass cannon, deal more damage, take more damage. This one I might throw on later on. Here, the next one, there's only one choice again for lightning, and that's lightning spear. From there, after critically striking, lightning, yeah, okay, cool. But this one has collecting crackling energy, increases the damage of your next lightning spear cast by 20% up to 100%. So must have that one if we're going with the crackling energy build. And this one stuns when critically striking. So that's why I said there's really a Crackling Energy build and then a full crit strike build. Now this one increased damage for each active conjuration, not bad depending what you're doing, but since you're only using lightning strike, maybe not. You gain 5 damage reduction against elites, take that later if you want. Mana shield, every time you spend 100 mana, you gain 5% damage reduction for 5 seconds. Good if you want it, so your choice. Then protection, using a cooldown grants 10% of your maximum life as a barrier for 5 seconds. It's up to you again. Then finally, precision magic, your lucky hit chance is increased by 5%. Good overall as well. The next tier we have here is ball lightning. As you can see, all of the passives are based on skills, so we go with the lightning passives. Ball lightning's damage rate is increased by 200% of your attack speed bonus, cool. And then you can see here is crackling energy. If an enemy is hit at least 4 times by a cast of ball lightning, a crackling energy is formed. So ball lightning is our best given way to instantly get crackling energy because of that. After hitting close, yeah, we don't want that. We took the passives because there's nothing better to take for now. Crit strikes with shock skills have a 5% chance to form a crackling energy. Obviously, we want to max that. And then this one is Upon absorbing Crackling Energy, you gain 4 mana, must have. Every time you stun an enemy, you deal 53 lightning damage to them. This one is probably the least important, but I threw it on anyways. And then for our ultimate skill area, it's the same there. Lightning passives, lightning skills, we can see that. Unstable Currents is OP because it's just like our ultimate, right? Just spams abilities at random. Increase attack speed by 25% when active. While Unstable Currents is active, Crackling Energy continually pulses and consumes no charges. So it's perma Crackling Energy. So that is nice. Hitting enemies shock, okay, cool, shock, cool, and then shock skills have 3% to stun enemies. So this is all just shock, so good overall. And then finally, when we get our ultimate, we'll take Overflowing Energy for Crackling Energy, doing more damage and hitting everyone. Like I said though, the other build here is damage from your shock skills, take 20% less damage to you. Crit strikes increase these bonuses by 25% for 3 seconds. So this is our like crit and shock one. So go with that what you will. So let's go take this build out and actually fight some enemies to see how it works. So I'll quickly run you over to the Forbidden City dungeon here and we'll actually take a look. So there was actually a cool event here, so we're gonna do that instead. So as you can see, we're just gonna spawn Crackling Energy, and then you'll see how it works. In just a short second, you'll see. The Crackling Energy here hits enemies and then just goes around, does some AoE like that. Once we start killing enemies, they start spawning, right? I'll use my ultimate and it just spawns Crackling Energy everywhere. Every time I attack, it shoots out another random spell. So those ball orbs of attack energy everywhere are gonna maybe spawn some Crackling Energy, but it's always hard to tell, especially with how RNG works. But once you see the Crackling Energy up there, you pick it up, that hits the enemies. You want your ball orbs to hit everyone, and then you hit the enemies like that. Just make sure to attack, kind of jump around, and make sure all your abilities are going out at once. There we go, Crackling Energy, Crackling Energy. In my opinion, I think like the ball orb skill is the easiest to spawn it all up, but hey, that's just my opinion. Do with that what you will. And that's generally how you fight and use the skills. You just spam everywhere, right? Just spam out and you should be okay. Your ultimate will spawn so much Crackling Energy because of how it works. Every attack just spawns a random one. There we have another Crackling Energy. It does more damage. Every auto attack there will have a chance to spawn some of that sweet Crackling Energy. So that is the general build that I've been using for my late game. I could swap around to any other sort of build, but this seems to work pretty well. And then I ultimate and constant Crackling Energy, and then I just attack, and oh my, isn't that beautiful? Just see attacks going off everywhere, like 24/7. Look at that, the arc lightning just going off. Then we have balls of energy, Crackling Lightning, there we go. Oh my god, the Crackling Lightning hit the NPC enemies. Boom! Realm Power, a little fractured, or sorry, Lilith, temple, or sorry, Lilith totem statue there. Nailed it. There's a lot of Lilith statues, but this is the beta, so I'm not going to bother going around and collecting them all. Either way, everyone, that is my Crackling Energy Sorceress build for now. My general gear doesn't do too much to enhance it. There we go, that's one. Crackling Energy has a 20%, 26% chance to chain it to an additional energy. You want stuff like that, which isn't too bad. I can't really use that one. Ice Armor is active, not really using that. Immobilized or frozen or stunned enemies, yeah, that one's not too bad. Skills deal up to 20% increased damage based on your available primary resource when cast, not bad, that increases damage. Crowd control, meh. And that one, injured or healthy, you gain more crowd control duration, right? So some of these are whatever, nothing too amazing. This one's for Hydra. Hydra's gain an additional head, but duration's reduced, right? There's a bunch of different stuff I'm getting, but it's still early game and it's only the beta, so I'm not gonna farm legendaries for the perfect build or anything. Let me know what you think, but honestly, it's very obvious that the way you want to build your classes are based on the final key passives. And if you're curious about my enhancement, I have Chain Lightning. Every time I spend 100 mana, Chain Lightning is formed. You could do with the Ball Lightning if you have a good amount of like Lucky Hit, right? Enchantment effect, Lucky Hit, crit strikes have a 25% chance to spawn a static Ball Lightning, which actually is not too bad. But that might be more of a late game setup because right now I just do not have the highest amount of stats. If you go to stats over here, my Lucky Hit, my crit, right, all of that, crit strike chances 5.8, crit strike chance versus injured, at least that's better at 23.7, but nothing amazing. Could be better, could be worse. So that's the build. Let me know what you think. I still think the Ball Lightning, though, would be pretty decent. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Sub, like, and check out any more of my Diablo 4 or any other videos if you want to support the channel. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.